Right now, inside your skull, about 86 billion neurons are firing. You can't feel a single one, you never have, but one day, maybe in 50 years, maybe tonight, that activity will stop. And in the final 30 seconds before it goes silent, something extraordinary may happen to you. Something nobody could prove until 2016 when an 87-year-old man was being recorded on an EEG at Vancouver General Hospital. He suffered a sudden cardiac arrest. The machine never stopped. What it captured in his last 30 seconds changes everything we think we know about death, memory, and what your final moments will actually feel like. It started with a fall. The 87-year-old patient came into Vancouver General with a head injury. Doctors operated to remove a subdural hematoma, a pool of blood pressing on his brain. Afterward, he developed seizures, so the team hooked him up to a continuous EEG to monitor his brain waves and adjust his treatment. Nobody planned for what came next. Mid-recording, his heart suddenly stopped. He died. The machine kept running. For the first time in human history, the electrical activity of a dying human brain was being measured second by second as it crossed from life into death. In 2022, the team, led by neuroscientist Raul Vicente and neurosurgeon Ajmal Zemar, published the recording in the journal Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience. What they saw in those final seconds was not what anyone expected. For decades, the assumption was simple. When the heart stops, oxygen to the brain stops. Within 4 to 10 seconds, you lose consciousness. Within 30 seconds, the EEG flatlines. After that, silence. A dead brain is a quiet brain. The Vancouver recording showed something else. In the 30 seconds before his heart stopped, and for 30 seconds after, his brain produced a powerful surge of gamma waves. Gamma waves are the highest frequency oscillations the brain creates, and they are not the noise of a dying machine. They are the signature of conscious thought. In healthy brains, gamma activity is associated with 3 very specific things: deep memory recall, vivid dreaming, and meditation. And the cross-coupling between his gamma and alpha waves match the exact pattern that appears when a healthy person is actively pulling up a memory. The authors use careful language. They wrote that this activity could support a last recall of life that may take place in the near-death state. In plain English, the dying brain looked exactly like a brain remembering. But here's the thing. One case is one case. Skeptics had a fair point. Maybe his epilepsy was producing the gamma. Maybe it was a fluke. So in 2023, neuroscientist Jimo Borjigan at the University of Michigan published a follow-up in PNAS. Her team studied 4 comatose patients who were removed from life support. They monitored each brain in its final minutes. 2 of the 4 showed the same thing: a massive surge of gamma activity right as the body was shutting down. And it wasn't random noise scattered everywhere. It was concentrated in one specific region, the temporoparieto-occipital junction, the TPJ. This part of the brain has a strange resume. It's the region that lights up when people report out-of-body experiences. It activates during vivid dreams. And it's heavily involved in the construction of the self, your sense of being a separate person inside your body. Borjigan had seen this before. In 2013, she ran the same experiment on rats and found 30 seconds of gamma activity after cardiac arrest. Her conclusion was the same. The dying brain may not shut down. It may light up. So what does this actually look like from the inside? Nobody who has fully died has come back to tell us, but people who came close have, and what they describe is remarkably consistent. In 2023, Dr. Sam Parnia at NYU Langone published the AWARE-2 study in the journal Resuscitation. His team monitored 567 hospital cardiac arrests across 25 sites. Of the 53 patients who survived, 28 were able to be interviewed. 11 of them, close to 40%, reported memories or perceptions during the period when their brains should have been completely off. Many described something specific, a structured walkthrough of their own life, not random scenes, a purposeful review, relationships, choices, things they regretted, often experienced from a third-person perspective, watching themselves rather than reliving each moment. This is not new. In 1892, the Swiss geologist Albert Heim published an account of falling from a cliff while climbing in the Alps. He wrote that he saw his whole past life take place in many images, as though on a stage at some distance from me. Mountaineers, drowning victims, soldiers. For more than a century, the same description has appeared again and again across continents and cultures. For most of that time, scientists dismissed it as a story. Parnia and Borjigan's data suggest the story might have been right. And here's the part nobody talks about. If the dying brain really does generate one final hyper-vivid replay of your life, what determines what's in it? Scientists don't know. The brain regions involved are linked to memory and self-perception, but the specific content has never been observed from the outside. Whatever the patient in Vancouver experienced in his last 30 seconds, only he saw it. The recording on that EEG is all that's left, but the implication is uncomfortable. If your last moments are essentially a film your brain edits and plays for you, then everything you do today is the raw footage. Every conversation, every choice, every grudge you hold, and everyone you let go. The brain that will sit there in the final 30 seconds is the brain you're shaping right now. Right now, inside your skull, 86 billion neurons are firing. You can't feel a single one. You never have. But when the time comes for them to stop, the last thing they may do, for one final electric moment, is show you who you were. And whether that movie is something you'd want to watch is being decided right now.